Hello. Oh, what is going on? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. Armagh 116, Tyrone 110. Armagh have dumped Tyrone out of the championship. The All-Ireland champions are gone. They are finished. Their race has been ran for 2022, and it is Armagh who get their first big championship win of the Kieran McGeeney era. And certainly you could probably say the biggest win for Kieran McGeeney in his management career with Armagh anyway. Maybe some results with Kildare, you might say, were more impressive or bigger in those specific moments. But Armagh, the day belongs to them. They get the victory. They dump out their big rivals Tyrone by a scoreline of 116 to 110. And as always, this is the instant match reaction. So if you're new to the channel, if you could hit the subscribe button, do a number of reactions similar to this one. And for sure, there'll be plenty of reactions still to come from all of the weekend's games. And if you could smash the like button, that'd be much appreciated. It helps the channel grow, completely free as well. So much appreciated. But Armagh, they are the ones who get the victory. They come out 6-point winners in the end. And a strange game, because you were sort of looking at it going into the final 10 to 15 minutes, and you were sort of, I'd imagine if you're a Tyrone fan, you're scratching your head there, because there was no real kick from Tyrone. There was no real push. There was no real sort of urgency, really. Even from... I don't even think Rory Kahneman got on at the end. There was just no real sort of urgency, no real kick, no real fight. They didn't really get at Armagh. There was one stage right at the start of extra time, or injury time, I should say, where they brought it down to a 4-point game. And you thought, right, maybe now something's brewing here. Maybe something's going to happen. But it just didn't. It was very, very comfortable from an Armagh perspective. And they managed the game very, very well, to be fair to them, for large parts of that game. They just looked very, very comfortable indeed. And from a Tyrone perspective, very, very disappointing. I think this is the feeling we all had about Tyrone this year, is that something just isn't quite right in the panel, in the side. You have players opting out, players that don't want to be part of the team. For a side that's All-Ireland champion, that is the All-Ireland champions, it is a bit strange, to be having players opting out and not really wanting to be part of it and all the rest, even if you are a squad player, because you might have a serious chance of getting an All-Ireland winning medal. You might also, there's injuries sometimes that happen. You might find yourself back in the team. You could still have your say yet. So when all that was happening, you were always worried about Tyrone, to be perfectly honest, because you felt like when the going gets tough, will they be able to respond? And the reality is, this year, when the going has got tough in the championship, they have not been able to turn it around. Yes, they beat Kerry and beat Mayo en route to staying up in Division 1. But I think ultimately, other than those two wins, Tyrone have done absolutely next to nothing in 2022. And, there's been a massive hangover from that All-Ireland win. Look, they've plenty of quality players. I'm sure they'll be back stronger next year. I'm sure they'll be there or thereabouts next season. Don't see Fergal Logan or Brian Dooher going anywhere. They did deliver an All-Ireland last year, so they'll certainly still be a part of this Tyrone management panel for the foreseeable future. But for Armagh, it's a huge win. The big criticism I've had of Armagh in the last sort of couple of years is, yes, they do have some quality footballers in Rian O'Neill, who we know. Aidan Nugent today, very good, got that early goal, which came in a crucial moment. Stephen Campbell, very, very underrated. Rory Grugan as well. And even, the likes of Conor O'Neill. Ethan Rafferty had a very good game today, kicked 2 points from play as a goalkeeper. I mean, that might be a championship record in terms of a goalkeeper kicking outfield score or kicking scores that weren't from, place balls or 45s or whatever. So quite incredible stuff. And I thought he had a very good game, to be fair. Had one nervy moment where he lost possession towards the end. Tyrone nearly worked the goal out of it. But to be fair to him, I thought he done very, very well. And, his kickouts were largely won brilliantly by Armagh, who won that sort of midfield battle. And, Rafferty done very, very well. So, the criticism has been for all these quality players, for all these good players, they haven't yet been able to deliver. You know what I mean? Like, it's not ever so often that you get a good crop of very, very good footballers. And, even you look at their bench as well, and Conor Turby, Andrew Murnan, who came on, had a very, very good game coming off the bench, kicking 2 points. You've got Ross McQuillan coming off the bench. You've Jamar Hall. You've even got the likes of Keane McConville on the bench, who didn't even come on. So, you've got a lot of options in that Armagh panel. but they just haven't been able to deliver and make it count in the big moments, in the big occasions. But today they did. And, quite early on, you would have been a little bit worried. Obviously, Conor McKenna getting that, or Michael McKernan, I should say, getting that early goal. Very, very well taken finish. And, from an Armagh perspective, you were sort of thinking, right, how is the response going to be here now? Because 3 points down early on, they need to go at it. What's the response going to be like? Because it's two sort of fragile teams coming in the back of disappointing results in the championship. It's obviously been a long layoff for Armagh since that defeat to Donegal. But to be fair, they responded brilliantly. And they hit 1-5 to a point in the next 20 minutes or so. Next 25 minutes. And that was really sort of when Armagh started to build up a lead. And, once Armagh built up that lead, Tyrone just couldn't get a foothold in the game. Weren't really able to create much goal chances. Darren McCurry was impressive with 7 points. But other than that, they were just lacking shooters. I didn't think they were taking opportunities on as well. I thought Conor Moyler had a good game. But even at that, you're looking at some of the other lads in there as well. And, Frank Burns and Dara Canavan who come on, Carl McShane, they just couldn't really create the opportunities for scores. And the credit has to go to Armagh, to be fair, for how well they defended. But it was just, it was disappointing, I think, from a Tyrone perspective that they weren't able to create those opportunities and create those chances. And, massive credit has to go to Armagh defensively, who had a very, very good game. And yeah, onwards and upwards from them. After that, obviously, they get themselves that goal from Aidan Nugent, like I said before. And, it was just controlling the game. They dictated the tempo, controlled it around the middle. Ben Creeley, Sheridan in around the middle as well. Very, very comfortable in possession. The intensity wasn't quite there in the tackle from Tyrone either. Armagh could have had probably a couple of more goals in this one. They had a couple of chances where they could have worked goals, but were happy taking points. It could have been more comfortable from Armagh. It really could have. Even at half-time, I felt like Armagh should have been out of sight, but it was only a point in it. And you thought, right, if Tyrone get a kick here, if they get going, they'll probably turn this one around. But it just was not meant to be. And Armagh into the next round of the qualifiers, the final round of the qualifiers as well. And they're certainly a team you won't want to be facing if you are a Limerick, Kildare, Roscommon or Donegal fan, because very, very good footballers. I'm not too sure if Armagh can play Donegal again, to be fair. I don't think there can be repeat pairings, but yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed to keep an eye on Armagh. But yeah, they get the victory in the end. In terms of man of the match, I mean, Aidan Nugent was very, very good, but I think I'd have to give it to the goalkeeper, Ethan Rafferty. Very, very good. He almost playing as a midfielder at times. 2 brilliant points. Excellent on his kickouts, I felt, as well. Had a really, really good game from an Armagh perspective. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, your comments down below. Want to know your opinions on the game. I suppose from a Tyrone perspective, what's the feeling like? Obviously, big disappointment that, look, Tyrone have never won back-to-back All-Irelands in their history. It was always going to be tough to do so. But I think they'll be very disappointed in the manner of how their championship season is finished. They've had 2 big tests in the championship this year, and they've lost on both occasions and lost quite comfortably, really. They never look like turning around against Derry. They never look like turning around in this game as well. And yeah, definitely also soul searching over the winter. And it'd be interesting to see if there's more players potentially to retire or opt out, or what happens there. Because certainly, from an outsider looking in, when you see those players opting out and all the rest, does appear to be something quite not right in the panel. But sure, look, we'll obviously have to wait and see. The day belongs to Armagh, who get the victory, 6-point victory over Tyrone. And my name is Aaron. This has been the instant match reaction here on GAA Fan TV. If you could subscribe, be much appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next one.